Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this series is called I Want to Be a Better Coach. And the truth is, I want to be a better coach. And I've been wanting to be a better coach since the time I found coaching as opposed to therapy or spiritual guidance, both of those which I specialized in before I found coaching. And I found coaching to be so much more powerful and fulfilling for me as a coach, but also in terms of myself as the client, because I've been a client many times with coaches, because it's an amazing vehicle for supporting and empowering people to move forward in their life to become their fullest potentiality. So today I want to talk about money because this apparently is almost a bigger conversation. I want to make more money is more important than I want to be a better coach. I mentioned to a friend of mine, and I'm going to call him Marty, just for the sake of confidentiality. And I said to Marty that I was doing these videos about I want to be a better coach, and he laughed. He said, "Rosie, people don't want to be better coaches; they just want to know how to make money at coaching." And it was like, oh my God. I mean, I know I want to be a better coach, and I know the people who come to me in for supervision and mentoring and coaching as coaches, they're coming to me to be better, more effective coaches. I know they want to be, and I'm assuming that they're you, if you're watching this, you also want to know how to be a better coach. But part of this is looking at the conversation about how to make money as a coach or getting into business as a coach, those kinds of things. So I just want to talk about this because it's part of every conversation or of anybody who wants to be a coach. They say, yeah, but can I make money at it? So, yes, you can make money at it. And if I had my way, I would ask you to be making a list or a journal or notes about what is coming up as you're listening to me. You might put comments in below to let me know what you're thinking about this as well. And I have a particular blog that I wrote for Fezzik Marketing called "Why It's Hard to." I forget the name of it. Oh, I'll tell you. Why is goal setting so hard? So I'm going to link that below too, so that because sometimes people have goals like how much money do I want to make, but they don't follow through. So that's going to be down below. Uh, so business coaching, coaching in for me is a field of practice where I'm supporting and empowering people to support and empower themselves. It's a way of being, it's what I do, it's who I am in many ways. Then there's business, and business is I'm going to make money, and here's what I'm going to do with that money. And that's kind of a separate entity, and we have to look at that separately and differently. So there are people who feel like they're not competent or can't be competent at coaching per se. They want to be effective coaches. They want to be better at coaching. But there's a fear that gets in their way. So there's this. And then there's the fear of not making money. And a lot of people spend a lot of money and they keep throwing money at coaching or the business of coaching, and it never gets them anywhere. I was doing some research, and in this one particular stream of articles, this woman and others were saying, I spent my savings on training and preparing and marketing, and I'm still not making, I still am not making that six-figure income. So it's like, well, what do I do? And what's important to me? These are the questions that are really important for me, for you to answer for yourself. What's the most important thing? There's two things, and every coaching training pretty much is going to emphasize both. Like, here's how you train to be a coach. Here's how you be a coach. And they make it look really simple and easy-ish. And then here's how you make money. And if there is a foundation of fear or lack inside you, then that's going to stop you from moving forward financially and or in terms of growing your effectiveness as a coach. So what most people don't realize is that, first of all, you can't just be a coach, just put your shingle out because now you're certified or you've got your certificate and now people are going to come. And it's not like you can, because you don't have the experience of enough people to have the experience that's going to generate, in a sense, of vibration or frequency in you that says, hey, I'm really good at what I do. And that level of confidence, that level of self-trust, that level of presence that comes with that level of experience. Now, any therapist program and or coaching or whatever, spiritual guidance, whatever it is, they will tell you it takes 2 to 5 years, and this is true for any business as well, 2 to 5 years to actually have a sustainable business. So that's just really something to know. It's like, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to develop it. But the more important piece here is developing your right relationship, the relationship you have with you in relation to the coaching as your vehicle for bringing in money, and in relation to money itself. So it's the both and. So in my model and my philosophy and principles, my way of coaching, it's the both and. Is we want to cultivate and grow our capacity to be effective coaches. And we do that on the one-to-one or in coaching groups or however you're working, but you're growing your ability and you're growing your relationship with your clients. So they will tell other people and say, hey, this person's really good. They're really helping me. And that's what we want, one-to-one and person-to-person referral. Excuse me. Excuse me. Person-to-person referral is where most of our referrals can come from. And if you've got a lot of relationships with people and they find value in what you do and what you bring, they will tell other people. So that's your best bet. So be more effective as a coach, and that's going to grow your business, to me, faster than anything. Then there's a relationship with money. Now, I'm going to talk about a client of mine. I'm going to call him Glenn. And Glenn is currently in a great job, and he's making close to $250,000 a year. And he's looking at growing his, he's a coach and he wants to grow his business. And he talks about being an entrepreneur. And so he's getting coached and taking classes and stuff so that he could be an entrepreneur. My philosophy and my way of coaching, so he's coaching with me and with another coach in terms of business. My philosophy is if he's got underlying fears or lacks or contexts within which he's seeing himself not enough or unworthy or whatever it is, then regardless of what he calls himself as an entrepreneur, it isn't going to work because the underlying element is of not enough or unenough. We'll just put it that way. So he was talking about he wants to become an entrepreneur. And I go, well, what's happening with you and your money now? Because you're making a significant amount. And he goes, well, I'm not really paying attention to it. There's a lot of bills I haven't paid, and I'm kind of ignoring it. And so he has a hope that if he becomes an entrepreneur, that what he is currently avoiding and ignoring and distracting himself from in terms of how he is being with money currently, that somehow will shift how his money situation right now. He's not in right relationship with himself in relation to his money right now. And does it make sense to you that that's going to change if he goes, oh yeah, I'll just create this entrepreneurial business and that will fill in the blanks. But if our underlying current is the same and we don't shift that pattern of being, our habits or our ways of distracting and avoiding ourselves from things that scare us or make us feel uncomfortable, then the same patterns will show up in other endeavors. This is true. In a sense, a lot of people say how you do one thing is how you do other things, everything. So where we're afraid or we're not enough over here in the coaching realm, it'll be the same with making money or having money or creating a business. It'll always be the same if we're coming from that level of insignificance, inadequacy, unworthiness, whatever that is. So we have to, I think, address those issues at the foundation. Like you can get yourself a business coach and that can be really effective. And if your business coach is helping you identify those parts of you where you're stuck, that's going to be much more valuable than giving you a bunch of tools on how to create a business or what to do to build a business. So I mentioned this blog that I wrote for Fezzik Marketing called Why is Goal Setting So Hard? And one of the things I mention in that is, as you grow your business, you have to grow yourself, because um, again, everything is a reflection of everything else. You've heard this. Everything is a reflection of everything else. So where my client Glenn is not looking at his current financial situation, there's stuff he's not looking at inside that has it be that way. He needs to do that, from my perspective, in order for this to shift, so that he can actually allow more money to come in more elegantly, with grace. But he wants to focus on something else and distract himself what is currently a situation or an issue for him. So my job as his coach is to empower him to look at what is this that he's avoiding and distracting himself from, so he can shift that pattern. And that's going to allow him to grow himself in a way that is going to allow more money to come in. Now, I said he's already making, $250,000 over here. And isn't it interesting that somebody who has so much money is still not managing or being in right relationship with the money he is making? He's not being in right relationship. And what I mean by right relationship is, we have a sense of truth and a sense of integrity and a sense of knowing, and we can be aligned with that, or we can be aligned with our that part of us that says you're not enough, you're inadequate, you don't deserve, whatever that is, that keeps us stuck in a pattern. So if we're going to grow our business, if we're going to grow ourselves in any capacity, we have to be in right relationship with ourselves in relation to whatever that is. A person who wants to be a musician and they want to grow themselves as a musician, they have to face certain certainties of fear and lack, and those places where they don't trust or they don't feel safe being themselves. It might be dangerous to be out in public, whatever that is that people have to face, and come to a place of feeling safe within themselves and trusting that they're safe. This is foundational for me. Being safe with yourself, trusting that you can do whatever it is you want to do, that's foundational to every element of our lives. And the more that we have that self-trust, then we can grow in confidence, and more evidence will appear of our abilities to make money, be a more effective coach, whatever that is. So this conversation about business of coaching, it really, for me, requires that we grow ourselves personally to grow ourselves professionally. I've had this conversation with CEOs and founders of companies, all kinds of people, where they're kind of feel limited over here at the edge of their business. And we end up talking about whatever is personal that holds them back, what limiting perspectives, what limiting thoughts, what limiting beliefs, what experiences have they had in their past that have them limited here and not able to, into that sort of glass ceiling element or glass wall. And when we talk about the personal and reveal what's under here personally, their business starts to grow and expand. That for me is how it works. So people who are working with me, but they go get a business coach, but the business coach isn't focusing on who they are personally and what's engaging them personally, that disconnects them and keeps them from growing. That's a challenge. And I would say most, I don't know, but my sense is people are not addressing the source of the issue. Let's fix it, let's do it, do these 14 things, make a list of whatever those are, do these things. But what's the underlying foundation of the person's sense of self? And those are the questions that I like to ask, so that get clear with my clients, that they know that they're in their own way and they can create an entrepreneurial, or they can do this or they can do that. But that, in a sense, they're hoping that will fix it. It's still coming from fear and lack. So I hope that makes sense. To grow your business, you got to grow yourself. Bada bing, bada boom. Another thing I want to mention is this idea. You may have heard it, you may not have, but it's never about the money. And people want money, but it's never about the money. The money is a vehicle, if you will. So if people say, I want more money, I want money, it's like, my question is, what will you have when you have that money? And people say, oh, I'll have freedom. It's like, okay, so what this is about is having freedom, not the money. Okay, it's about freedom. And I'll ask somebody else, what is having this money about? And it's like, I'll have security and stability. Okay, so the money is not about the money. The money is about security and stability. Somebody else I'll ask, I'll say, what is this? What is this about? If this, what is it that you're wanting if you have the money? What will you have when you have this money? And they say, I'll have power. Okay, great. So it's not about the money, it's about the power. Somebody else will be like, if I don't have money, then I'm nothing. I'm nobody. So money is about identity or a sense of self. So it's never about the money. It's about what we believe the money will give us. Now, this is true about, it's never about a love relationship. It's never about the food. It's never about the alcohol. It's about what we believe that gives us. So for me, I believed for a long time that a love relationship would give me a sense of specialness and importance and significance and comfort and safety. The truth is I really needed to get that for myself without relying on the relationship to do that for me. So we do this with money. We go, if I have the money, then I'll have that. It's like, well, let's go directly to that, making this happen. The money will come. And it says, if I want a sense of appreciation for myself, I don't have to have money or a job or a person to identify me as that. I have to give that to myself. And we go, oh, no, not that stuff. That's too much work. But it depends on what you really want in life. And if the chase for money isn't working for you in bringing you peace and serenity and joy and freedom, it's a question of, is it that you want that stress of proving and improving and making more? Do you want the stress of that, or do you want the peace and serenity that can come from maybe creating money, having money come in a different way is a possibility. So you've heard this expression, I'm sure, do what you love and the money will come. And people go, yeah, but that doesn't really work. It's like, well, do you know that? It's like, yeah, well, this is it. And we make up a lot of excuses. Well, the truth is if you're chasing money, those people who are chasing money, I'm saying chasing money, but marketing and doing everything you can to make money in your business, a lot of people fail doing that. And a lot of people may fail in terms of, I'm not making the amount of money I want to make. I don't have the results. That failure is, I just don't have the results that I anticipated. And failure isn't even that, but that's what we name it as. I failed because I didn't make the results, as opposed to going, well, maybe there's something else here. So looking at, if I chase money, if I push, am I more likely to make money than if I don't push? Like, I think that's a great question. And that's a practice that I look at is, and if I'm pushing, is that fun or is it stressful and creates anxiety and fear? I have gotten myself sober, if you will, from stress and fear and anxiety. And what should I do? I've kind of gotten sober from that. I'm using those words to the degree that I have, because I don't let that operate inside me as much, because my focus is on, hey, I love what I do, and I'm making money. But the most important thing is I have a lifestyle, and I've mentioned this before. I have a lifestyle that I love and is relaxing and relatively stress-free, and I can make choices as I do, and I have the money that supports me to have the lifestyle I have. That's enough for me. And I have to take into consideration one more thing, which is that we are each here having a human experience to learn and grow on a spiritual basis. So we all came here. This is a belief. So this is part of, I believe, the money making conversation, which is you and I are each here to learn and grow through the experiences that we have, and our relationships to money, health, love, life, whatever those are. These are our curriculums for learning something, some life theme that we came in here to have. So it's a life theme resolution. The book I talk about all the time, Oneness by Rasha. It says we are the fulfillment, your highest. Oh man, basically, your highest vibrational results are always forthcoming. That's what it is. The highest vibrational results are always forthcoming. So if you are not in a state of vibrational fulfillment, we'll say, you want more, or you feel you want more money coming in, more clients, more whatever, then something has to shift, because the highest vibrational results are always forthcoming. And so for me, I have to go, okay, so what am I not yet looking at, or what needs to be resolved, or what life theme keeps showing up in relation to money? And I can look at feelings or beliefs in inadequacy, or I don't deserve, or unworthiness, or people who have it shouldn't have it. Whatever those thoughts are, there are elements of a conversation with myself I'm not yet having that I need to resolve. The life theme is present that I need to reveal for myself. And this is true for money as well as love or anything else, health and well-being. It's like, what am I needing to look at and explore within myself? What do I need to unconceal that's kind of limiting this vibrational result that I'm really wanting? That's a different conversation than, how do I make money? What do I need to do? Uh, and the doing in the external world. It's really that coming back into here and saying, what am I not looking at here? What needs to be revealed? What do I need to be with? For some people, the belief that it's dangerous to have money gets in their way of having money, or their religious background, or some element that says people who have money are not are all only interested in power and greed. They're not interested in helping people. And so these kinds of thoughts in our heads and our bodies, our vibrations, influence what shows up in our life. So we have to look at that. So if you want to make money doing what you do, and in this case, we're talking about coaching, then it's really important for you to look at your conversations at all levels to explore and reveal, wow, what are these life themes that you've been living with? And you may not even have seen them, and explore it. So that's the foundation of what I wanted to share with you today. That keeps coming up in conversations with people, is how do you make money as a coach? Well, first of all, be an effective coach where people are going to say, hey, you are great at this, and I'm going to tell other people. That's number one. Be effective at what you are doing, what you're bringing to the world. Otherwise, you're in business for business sake, and this is a sideline. You know what I'm saying? So number one, be clear, is coaching your vehicle for bringing money in? I did some research this morning, and it's like, what are some ways to make money? What are the 10 top ways to make money? And there's other ways that are easier to make money than to coach, truly. So is coaching really something that is heartfelt for you, that you want to engage in and allow money to come into your life through this vehicle? Or is this just I want to make money, and everybody's making money through coaching? That's not true, but that's the hype of it. And if you only train enough and throw enough money at it, you're going to be a great coach, and you're going to make money at it. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And I think you know that, but it's like, what are we afraid to find out by exploring who we are in relation to money, in relation to business, in relation to our heart's desire? So let me see if there was anything else I wanted to say. So as you grow your business will grow you. And if you are not allowing your business to grow you in terms of who you're becoming and what you need to let go of, what may stop you from growing your business, you got to look at that. being in right relationship with yourself in relation to money, in relation to business, in relation to life is really, really important. Being in right relationship, honoring yourself first and foremost in relation to money and your business. That's most important. That's a big practice. And these things I'm mentioning are not things that are like bada bing, bada boom. It's these are incremental learnings where we grow ourselves through this and expand ourselves through this. My business has been around for 24 years, and I've got over 500 blogs on my website. I've got almost 300 or over 300 videos. I've got all kinds of places where I've been putting myself out. I've got 14 books. I've got trainings. I've been training people for 20 some years. And, I make the money I make. And I love my lifestyle. I said this before. And I can be at peace at that. And if more money comes in, that's awesome. And all I'm doing is working on what's in the way of, in a sense, allowing prosperity. I believe in the prosperity and the abundance of the universe. So if it's not forthcoming, there must be something in me that's not allowing it, that I need to look at. That's a learning opportunity. And that's what I want you guys to think about it differently. Like, if you believe that the abundance of the universe is always here, and if it's not forthcoming to you, and law of attraction and Abraham Hicks talk about this, it's all in escrow. It's all here for you. And what do you need to do differently? What needs to shift within you? Your belief system, your energy system, past life traumas, we don't know. But what's there that needs to be revealed to, in a sense, unlock the escrow and allow the abundance to come to you? That's the big question. So I highly encourage people to work with coaches and or support groups or whatever to help you and support you and empower you to ask these questions in a way that you can find the answers. You can discover the answers. You can be curious about this. That's the most important thing to me, is that you be curious about what's my relationship with money? What's my relationship with allowing? What's my relationship with receiving? That's a huge one. That was a huge one for me, is I say I want to receive, but really, I mean, you can see immediately my hand goes up. It's like, nope. If I receive, then a whole bunch of stuff starts to show up. So where are we ignoring or avoiding receiving? That's a huge question. Money can come in from any doorway, not just business or coaching. It can come from any doorway. Are we open to receiving? And to what degree? Oh, well, this much or just total openness. Something to look at. All right. So I think I've covered everything. Most important thing from my perspective is be clear about whether coaching. Two things. One thing is, I was reading someone's blog, and they were saying, that if you're, how do you make money as a coach? And they say, develop courses online, develop trainings, develop workshops, develop this, develop that. But if you don't have the experience on one-to-one, then how do you can't develop those programs because you don't have the direct experience. She said the one-on-one is the best way to start your business, one-on-one. And I say that all the time, one-on-one. The other thing is free before free. I'm sorry. Free before fee. And I heard this from other people as well. Be willing to work for free so that you're developing the skills and the tools and the comfort with what you're doing as a coach. And people will then say, hey, I want to pay you for this, because they'll know your value. And they will tell other people, hey, come see Margaret because she's really good at what she does, and here's what she charges. You can start to charge once you have that ability to be in the confidence of a relationship with your client and coach effectively. So number one, one-on-one is your best vehicle for building your business. Number two, free before fee. And the third thing is do what you love. If you love what you're doing, then either the money will come or it doesn't, but you at least are having fun doing what you're doing. And it generally will grow because you're in a different state of mind. You're not in stress. You're not in fear. You're growing your capacity to enjoy yourself and like your life and love what you're doing. And and things will shift for you. They will. That's what I have to say about that. All right. If you have any comments about this, please leave them below. You may not agree with what I have to say, and I'm happy about that because that means you have a knowing for yourself of what your way is. That's the most important thing is you know your way, and that's being in right relationship with yourself. Number two, if you would, just give me a like, if you would, if you found value in this conversation, and subscribe if you want to, because you might want to get more of these. Again, most of the time I'm talking from questions. These even are, people who come to me as clients and say, hey, I want more money. I want to make this business, or I want to become an entrepreneur, or whatever that is. So this conversation comes from that too. If you have comments or questions, please let me know so I can address them in upcoming videos. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for this conversation. Thanks for considering something beyond the beyond. All right. Blessings to you. Bye for now.